Hey everybody, GL1 here, and today I have a really special treat and complicated show for you that gives me a lot of trepidation because this toy system, this is the Armada Optimus Prime system from 2001. It is so complicated and so varied, and you can do all kinds of things with it. I'm going to show you the scope of this. All of these toys here go together to form Optimus Prime Armada. And in fact, even right here, I have what's called a build to rule version. This is like a Lego type of thing. We'll explore that. But they even came out with that. It's not Lego, it's build to rule, Hasbro product, and really gigantic. But recently, they've reissued this Optimus Prime, the Armada Optimus Prime, for $90 to $100. And this is the basic form in truck. And they've reissued this with greater articulation and a few other features. However, it does not have the electronics and the lighting up. And it costs, like I said, $90 to $100. But this set here, I remember, was $40. And what you would get is you would get the truck, not these two robots here, those are minicons, but you would get this one here, spark plug, and this turns into a car, and here it is in robot form. But I'll be going through that as well. This is an automatic transforming transformer. The new one doesn't do that. Now, I remember back when this came out, 2001, and it actually came out the summer before 9/11, there was some kind of shipping issue with toys coming over from China, and nothing was coming through. And I don't remember why, but I was at an obscure Toys R Us one evening. A truck had just come in, and they had 3 of these that came off the truck. And I know they were some of the earliest ones in the country, and I picked it up. I remember my young son was with me. I was so excited. And it's awesome, but it's complicated and difficult in some ways to play with, but so neat. So I'm going to transform, it's going to transform itself partially as well. So one of the things that comes, what you can adapt to it are these figures. These are minicons. They're little tiny vehicles that turn into robots. And actually, I'm going to go over those later, but I just wanted to show what they do is they attach on here, and they're supposed to give the Optimus Prime or whatever transformer in Armada more power. And they activate special features on the toys that, is a symbol of it giving more power. All right, so this is your trailer, right? It's a very space-age looking trailer. And actually, it opens up, and you can put minicons inside, and this one here opens up and you can put a minicon inside, and it actually has, you see this like gate in the back? Well, that can zoom forward, so you can untab this. What it is it's got little pegs, and I'm going to show you here, and then you can put your minicon in, and there's a like a lever here, and you can push that gate forward, and that will slide that forward, and that'll slide your minicon out. And you see it has wheels too because it goes into different forms. And you see this one's gold. Well, that activates a special feature on it. And so here's the back. And you can see it has these ratchety gears. You see how there's a little ratchet? So there's a gear here, and it has a triangle that it slides in and out. It's spring-loaded, and it'll allow it to move. So you can play with it without batteries and transform it. But, it makes a little ratchet sound, and it's not breaking it. And so the first thing you want to do is make sure it's in the on position, and it is now off. It runs on 4 AA batteries, and it really needs that 6 volts because it's not that light, and it does 3 different transformations. All right, so when you turn it on, the next thing you want to do is make sure that everything's loose because it allows you to tab everything together. See the pegs so that it's not loose. And if it tries to transform automatically, this is the part that transforms automatically, and it's tabbed in, it won't move. Now what you have here is you have an ultraviolet sensor, which is actually quite multi-directional. So as you're transforming the cab, which turns into 3 different things, as you are transforming this has little switches on it that then send out a pulse. You see this? So you have a windshield here, and you can see the infrared transmitter. So I'm showing you this because one of my clients is a scientist, and we were talking about really cool transformers, and I was telling him about the reissue that is, pretty expensive and not as cool as this one. And, it's 22 years later, and although the articulation is better, it's hard to beat this toy. So this is the Optimus cab. It turns into a truck. It turns into a smaller Optimus Prime, and it turns into an Optimus Prime torso. And I'm going to transform it, but let me show you what those look like. So this is part of a special edition of this set, and the color scheme is different. It's gray, and it has a little button here you can push, and you can move his mouth. Can you see that? So he's talking, okay? And it has this clear gun in his hand, and the reason it has a clear gun is it actually, one of the large hands, which are down here, lights up and will shine light through it. And there's a button for that, and let's see, there you go, see that? So that lights up. So if you take even the larger gun, and let's say he's in large robot mode, and you push that button, and then you'll see the light shine through. Can you see a little bit? It turns a little red. Yeah, there you go. So at night, of course, it's going to show more. And likewise with the smaller gun, take the smaller gun and put it in there. Now this gun, I'm missing the other half, but I have a full gun as well. I have so many of these, of this whole multiple versions of this Optimus set, because there's a used toy store around here, and years ago, they had no idea, I think, how cool this was, and they were selling it for like nothing, like $3 or something. So I bought a bunch of whatever was there because I could, use it as part of the system and make all the different robots and not have to play with them and transform them. So this is the cab as an Optimus, all right? And you see this button here? This turns on the infrared, and it'll stay on probably for like 6 minutes or something. So he has limited articulation. I mean, he's got some knees, and he's got some hips, although this locks together. And there, now he doesn't really have the hips to move. His head turns, and his arms just go back and forth. They don't have lateral motion, but he has elbows. His wrists don't turn. But, it's really okay because all the other things he does. Oh, and the Matrix of Leadership. This folds down, and there you go. The Matrix of Leadership, and it's, kind of a shiny paint in there. So, Optimus Prime. And then, let me show you the top torso version. And I'm showing you these as separate from transforming them because as I start transforming it, you're going to see that it doesn't always do what you want because as you're transforming it, you might hit some of the triggers and make it do different things. So this is the cab, obviously, in giant form, okay? So, and then you push that button. Okay, this is the one where the batteries don't work, but you push this button here and that would make that light up. All right, so yeah, for something when the batteries, this was a used one. It was left, the batteries were left in, they corroded. And hopefully I did do some cleaning with that orange cleaner. Citrus cleans out corrosion, and hopefully it'll come back when that dries out. All right, so his head turns, and obviously he's got a larger head than the other Optimus. And you see there's the other Optimus head tucked down in there. And then this snaps on. This trailer turns into legs automatically. And now here's a special edition color. But here is Optimus Prime, the big one with special edition colors. And this is the cab on top of the trailer as legs. And these are also special parts here, and I'll explain where that comes from as well. So let me get on with the automatic transformation now that you have an overview. All right. So everything's loosed. And then you can take these off. So these are those clear, these are the smokestacks. And then they come apart. It's going to cooperate here. Take that off the tabs. All right. And then that comes together. And now you have that clear gun. So at least I have one full complete gun. All right. I'm going to push the button, make sure it's activated. All right. Let's hope everything goes all right. All right. So first thing is I'm going to pull the legs apart. And untuck this. That folds back. Okay, and let's see what happens here. I'll pull this apart. There we go. Okay, something's happening. Okay, you hear that ratchet sound? Yeah, it just struggles a little bit, but let's see. It's going to fold out, and well, and it knocks that over. That's all right. All right, and then it turns into the base. Okay. So that turns into the base there, right? So sometimes you might have to, do a little bit of adjustment, push it down, a little ratchet, compensate for the ratchet. And then here, you can fold out the hands there. That becomes his legs. And now push that arm down. Okay, so there's your Optimus Prime. Now this here, you see his hands are tucked in under there, part of the cab, and then push that back, and there. Okay, now he's got his arms out. Fold those down, and then of course now you have the matrix. Now see the matrix of leadership on the original version, non-special edition. It is silver in there, and if you remember on the other one, it's blue. All right, then those pull down. See that? And they pull down and lengthen his legs. Okay, just to reiterate, pull that down, you see it's blue. Okay, blue's nicer. All right, so here's your base, right? So now you can use all your little minicons with the base, and it has a trigger here, and then push that forward, and then it springs open. Okay, so now you have, like a sort of a gun that shoots forward, but you can take your minicon. Now it comes with spark plug. The original one, the original colors, came with the yellow spark plug. Okay, and then maybe you can sit him up there. It does different things. Here's your coordinates for launching an attack, and you tab that up. Okay, and then you can push a button, and then it lights up, and then so that's like it's firing. You push that there. Okay, and then here we go, a special feature. So you can take your minicon, and let me show you that. I'm going to use this gold. Now this is a gold version of spark plug, but it's a little different because in auto form it has these fancy pieces here. Not only is it gold, but this thing, if you want to get this is $56 alone. So here is your minicon attachment. And then you push this. Now watch this. Can you see that? All right, what's going to happen is I'm going to push that in. It's going to push a trigger, and then that gun comes up. And then now you have a gun turret. And when he's in robot mode with his giant legs, this also is out, and he can have like a leg gun there. And let's see. I don't remember what this one does. I don't know. This is not a special. This just pegs in there. Also on this is a gun here. Now this is not a minicon thing as far as you push one in and it turns, but here's a gun that fires a missile, and I only have one of these missiles. I am missing. Well, what happened is this was purchased. This one actually is my original one. The other ones were purchased used, and the missiles, of course, were missing. Here's the original missile. I have that in the other base over there behind it. Okay, so then. All right, so then that missile, and then you can push that and it fires. So, yeah. All right, so when he's also in robot mode, this is the front of his feet with the giant feet, and then you can turn that back, and then he has a shin missile. Okay, so you can do all kinds of things here with this. Let me show you a couple things. All right, so here is Spark Plug Special Edition. And then to transform Sparkplug regular edition, it comes apart easily, but it also goes back together easily. So if you make any mistakes, and then that folds, let's see if I can get this, yeah, like this. And it goes back. You know what? I didn't put the head in correctly. This is why I don't transform things online usually. All right, that folds back. And then, but what I want you to notice here, take note of, is then this folds. See, these little things sometimes are kind of complicated. All right. And it looks kind of like a Lamborghini. All right, so there's your original spark plug with the original Optimus Prime. And you can see this is Sparkplug with a little fancier, okay, and more rare. So this is Sparkplug, Corona Sparkplug, okay. And some people, it is also written that it was Corona Optimus Prime, the special edition one. All right, so I'm going to transform the cab again, and we're going to see if I can get this thing to pull up into the legs, okay. All right, so here's our Optimus Prime, and there's our sensor. Push that button, make sure it's activated, and we're going to push these out. And there we go. And sometimes it needs a little help, but it's going to come up. It's heavy, that's the thing. Well, you see that it has the wheels to roll. It would work better on like a smooth glass surface or table because it's on this vinyl there. Now it's, okay, so now the legs have come up. Okay, so now here you have your automatic transforming legs. And, okay, so see, then you can take this and turn that forward. And then you can take this and push that there. Okay, and now you have your shin rocket, missile. Okay, and then that goes in there. All right, so now you have your legs set up, right? And you can see all the base has folded back behind him. And then if you want, you can stick your minicon. You have storage, and it's going to just, it gives him more power, right? So he's just going to become more and more powerful. So then that goes, you can put that one on there. And there's multiple places for minicons. There's one up there as well. All right, so continuing to transform this, right? And in fact, I don't need to. So I already have one transformed. So, all right, so there he is. All right, and then you just take this, and then you can stick that up on here. See, and you have another place for minicons. This is not a spark plug. This is just one of the racers. I couldn't find a name for that. And you could see the hands fold back behind him. There's his head tucked in. And then you just take that, and then I think this is down. And then you see these, that tabs in, and it just kind of, this is actually a lot like a Power Rangers connector. A lot of Power Rangers. Yeah, when you get it, it makes that noise. When I get it correctly, which is not always the easy. There we go. Okay, so now see, he's there, sort of like a transforming noise. And there he is. And, he's a little tipped forward. Something's not exactly out of the way. But, all right, so that's, all right, so there's your big, powerful Optimus Prime. Now, this is the one where it doesn't light up. But, if you take the arm, right, and here's the big arm. This one works, right? And you fold his hands out. And only one of them lights up. So it's the one with the button. So there's the button. Okay, and then you can take one of the guns. The special edition had a gray gun. And put that in there, right? And then you can, when you're playing, you just push that, and then the lights up. It's got to be fully transformed for it to light up. All right. But anyway, that's how that would work. So then you can just put that gun in his hand here, over there. Okay, so that's how that automatic transforming works. Now, if you don't want it to keep transforming on you, which can be a little annoying when you're trying to play with it. You can turn it off. So there's the off button up in here, and turn that off. Conserve your batteries. If you're going to store this for a long time, definitely want to take your batteries out, because you don't. This is such a really cool toy. You don't want it to, corrode. All right, so here's the special edition for it, and I wanted to show you some other play options. So, all right, so see, this is another minicon. It turns into this guy here. So there were, I don't know, maybe 100 minicons that came with this set. Not came with it, but you could purchase separately. Usually they came in packs of 3. And, every Armada toy came with a minicon, but you could then purchase some separately. And this is makeshift. So this is him in helicopter mode. And what I usually do is I put him in a mode, and let's see, where's his, there it is. Okay, so you can take him like that, fold it down, and then you can stick it on Optimus Prime's shoulders, and then you can put these up, and then he has like some kind of like laser that sticks up on his shoulders. So see, you can attach that minicon on there like that, and then he has like a laser weapon up there. Okay, and then here's another one of those little speedy cars that didn't have a name. But, see that's going to fold out. It looks like a Mercedes, actually. I'm pretty sure it is, actually. Those look like Mercedes lights. There's a racing Mercedes from the 90s that looks like this. And then here, this is a Firebot. This is another really cool one. And then this, it's supposed to spray water and folds out. And let's see if we can transform this really quick. So some of them, see the legs come out. And minicons were, very successful. They're cute, so cute works. And let's see, and then you gotta get that head to flip up, I believe. No, or that to flip down. That's it. That flips down, and then his head is hidden back down behind there, and his arms. The other minicons usually don't have a lot of articulation, but this minicon also can go on your Optimus, like this. And then you could see it's like an Iron Man looking rocket launcher. And then you could put that on the shoulder. War Machine has rockets, right? So you could take this, and then you can put that up on your Optimus. You can take this car off. Let's see what kind of car that looks like. It looks kind of like it wasn't out yet, but it sort of looks one of the, you know what? It looks like a Cadillac CTS. See those lights? If you're familiar with Cadillac CTS, that's what it looks like. All right, and then, so you can put that, where is the little, gotta find it. Oh, here we go. It's on the arm. So you turn it on the arm, and then that's gonna attach. There you go. And now he has like rockets on the other shoulder and lasers on the other. Okay, so if you want to play with this, with your cab, you can, right? Oh, this is one of the only minicons with the actual spring-loaded firing missile. That's why it's my favorite. And this one, his name is Knockout. And he also makes a cute little robot. But if you want to play with it with a smaller Optimus Prime, Takara also came out with, it turns just into the cab and just into Optimus. It doesn't turn into the larger robot. That folds down. It's a different kind of matrix of leadership looking thing. And then you have, electronics in there. And like nice blue. And his head actually articulates really well. It can look around like, okay. So he doesn't have the mouth moving thing, but that's all right. All right, so he's smaller on a different scale. And then these guns come off. Okay, and it's got knees, but he has a special feature. So when you put the minicon on the back, and this minicon is like a drilling minicon called Strip Mine, because it's like a mining minicon, and then you push this up and down, has a lever. Let's see if we can get that to work. Okay, yeah, he like punches, or he's like shooting his forearm lasers. So let's see if you have to push it in because there's like a button. And then he does that. So the big one doesn't do that. So you see how there's a little depression on that button, and you see it has a hole. In fact, if you ever look at what are called security screws, and a lot of times where you're going to find security screws is on in the bathroom, on the wall, the screws that hold the walls in the stall, okay, have like a hex head with a button. Actually, it's like this on the out that sticks out, and you have to have a special screwdriver set that has that hole that you can put it in so you can unscrew it. And you can get that screwdriver set. It's just not like instantly easy to find, but I do have a set. That's how I know about it. All right, so there he is, strip mine. And if you'll notice, strip mine also can connect there. He can hold another minicon, or he can just hold, let's see how that's gonna work. Yeah, so why you would do that, I don't know. But if he's like if he's using a car as a shield, you know, zap, 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 right? So anyway, that strip mine's really cool. Well, here's what also happened. Back then, there was some knockoffs, and I cannot find these online, and they're really cool. And I believe I got these at a store called Big Lots, which, you know, back in the day would get cheap versions, inexpensive versions. These are probably like $4. And, you know, it would be, well, taking something that's like copyrighted or trademark product, patented products, that's what it is. It's an object. And then they would make like a cheap version of it. But I've kept these all these years, and it transforms much the same way. You can see it's an Optimus head. And even if you look at the matrix of leadership, it's similar. Fold that down. They even embossed a similar matrix of leadership. Very similar, actually. All right. And that one turns into, the cab turns into, as you can see, some kind of grabber thing. And that can turn. And it's a soft plastic. It's pretty durable. And I think this goes to this, and then that can like shoot a laser. Well, they also made a dump truck version. And there it is, the dump truck version. And it even says Optimus on it. How they got away with this, because, you know, this stuff is, you know, trademark names and patents. But, you know, it was sold. Oh, look, you can see they painted one side and they didn't paint the other. Just notice that. All right. Well, we're not done with all the cool things that this set can do. And that's what is so daunting about this whole collection of all the things it does. So, get this out of the way here. All right. So, right here is our special edition Optimus, okay? All right, so there he is, standing bold, and what he has is he has these two shoulder rockets on him, and when you look, this comes to a character called Overload, okay? And most of the time when you see Overload, it's missing the missiles. But Overload you can get on eBay for $150, but you can order it from Transformer Source, new. I guess it's a reissue for $70 right now, is on sale. So, all right, here's Rollout. So this is something that I discovered that I did not see any website or anybody that put it together, that you could take the Rollout robot torso. You see how that's a torso? And then you could put it on top of the Optimus Prime legs, because it has the same connectors and they're the right width. And then that can just go right onto there. And now you have like a giant Rollout Optimus Prime. Well, Rollout is really a cool transformer in a number of ways. So, all right, so that's one of them, all right? So before I put Rollout in Rollout form, as he's in this form, you could push this in, And there's a trigger in the back, and it has a button, pushes in there, and that makes that sound. See? Okay, so this is the rollout head, but obviously it's a truck, right? It's a fire truck. All right, so when the rollout is actually the little truck, and when it's all together, it's Overload. All right, so rollout turns into a small robot. So the head folds in, this pulls forward, head goes in, and then a little tiny head comes up, and look at that. And then that folds in, and then these come off easily. Those become the legs, and I suspect you can reorient these in different ways. But there's his legs, and use it for something different. That comes up, and there you have it. You have rollout as a robot. It's a little big for a minicon, and then that can fold down, right? Okay, and then, he's got some legs, got some arms, and you can see he's got, lasers or something on there. All right, so there's your little rollout minicon, and it actually can peg in here, in somewhere actually, and become, I'll show you, it can become a weapon. So while he's in rollout form, that's one thing, but he can turn into a weapon. He would just fold his head down, and then these fold down, and now you have, and there's probably other ways to orient this, but you can see also that you have the minicon connector right there, so you could connect it in some way, maybe on the side here as a hip laser, or because he has his handle, it can go in here, and now he has a gigantic rollout gun. Now, just a little side note, during 9/11, one of the planes that went down, the heroes on board, said, let's roll out when they were stopping the attackers. And they said, let's roll out. And, this, like I said, this came out in 2001, before 9/11, and the character's name is Rollout, and it's a rescue bot. So, pretty neat coincidence, I think. That's sort of my thing, is finding coincidences. All right, so this, when it's in truck form, and I got to put it back in truck form. How did I? Oh, right, folds up, and then got something. I'm going to show you what else rollout does. That's why that comes out easily. So you can do that. Okay, there. All right, he's in truck form. And this also has the ability to pull a gigantic trailer. All right, so here are our shoulder missiles. They come off, okay? All right. And then we're going to take rollout off here. Okay, so first I'm going to turn rollout into just roll out the robot. All right, so these fold down. This pulls, one of these open up. This pulls out. And that becomes a foot. Okay. I tell you, preparing for this show took hours because I had to reacquaint myself with all the different things it does, look up the names of things, put batteries in things, see what's working, what isn't. And then, so I hope my friend appreciates this because this took a lot of work just to get ready for the show. All right, so here you go. So then you go like that, and then you can fold that head up. There you go. And there's rollout. Push that in. And there's rollout the robot. Okay? So there he is in robot form. Like these jets in the back. The speaker that you keep hearing is down there. Okay, and then this can fold down like that. If you want, you can give him like a Beetlejuice head. like that movie Beetlejuice. Now he's got like a little tiny head and a big giant body. Okay, so when it is in, I'm going to put this in truck form. All right, I'm going to pause and then transform this. Okay, so now I have transformed Rollout into his truck form, and then this little truck pulls that big trailer. And is that ridiculous looking? Sure is. I always thought so. You know, I don't like things that are out of proportion, but so I probably would never play with it that way, you know. But here's the thing. This also can attach to the Optimus Prime cab the same way. And you can attach this. You can have the Optimus Prime cab pulling its trailer and then this attaches to the Optimus Prime trailer. And I'm going to pause again and show you that. Okay, so here it is, one gigantic triple trailer, well, double trailer, okay, like a big Australian truck train, you know, that goes across the desert. All right, and as you can see, you can attach minicons in multiple places. And, you know, you could change Rollout into a gun and attach it so he has like a laser there. And then you have, you know, that knockout up there to shoot the laser. And this little transformer here, this minicon, I brought this one up to show you because it has a unique feature. I'll do a show on minicons one day because I have a whole bunch. I might even have 100 of them. But when you pull this back, I probably have like 50 or 60. So it has a little rubber wheel underneath, so then the guns fire back and forth. Let's see if you can, it doesn't activate on the ground that well. But anyway, that's the point. And then that turns into, as you can see his little head, which actually turns. And then the minicons they mostly transform about the same way. So this one, though, the legs pull down, and then you have your little arms. And I think you can turn that up, and there. Now you have yourself a little minicon, and then he can attach, you know, he can also attach like that. And then if you wanted to have, you know, you can never have enough lasers, right? When it comes to these kinds of toys, because those Decepticons, oh, you even have an attachment here when it's in sideways, you know, to stick a minicon on. All right. Well, I don't know. Sorry to say, no. But this also becomes a backpack weapon that attaches to Optimus Prime when he's in super mode. Okay? So I'm going to show you that. And we're still not done because I have, you see next to him, Jetfire. That transforms into a robot, into legs, and for Super Optimus, Super Flying Optimus, Super Optimus Jetfire, or Jetfire Optimus, and it turns into like a space shuttle. So I'll be showing you that as well. So I'm going to pause it, and then I'm going to make this into the backpack weapon. Okay, well that was painful and arduous. So I know visually that's how it's supposed to look. I couldn't figure out where it's supposed to tab in. It's been like, you know, a really long time since I played with this, and I'm sure I have the instructions, but they're just all in a big drawer of instructions. But this is essentially what it looks like. All I could do is get it to rest on top. Maybe that is how it was. I really don't remember. But anyhow, he's got these big giant shoulder missiles. So that is, now you have Overload plus Optimus Prime. Right, and then he can use Rollout as a laser weapon to accompany his other weapon. And as you can see, it doesn't have a lot of articulation. It's really just something that sits on the shelf. All right, so now I'm going to make Jetfire Optimus. Okay, but before I make Jetfire Optimus, let me just show you Jetfire. So this is Jetfire in robot mode, obviously, and he comes with a big giant weapon. And you push this down, and it lights up. And it has a minicon attachment, and you see it's got that little red divot in there. Well, this thing used to make a firing sound, and when you would put a minicon on it, it would deepen the sound, make it more powerful sounding. And so he'd hold this weapon, and then you'd put a minicon, and that would power him up. And I found the sound to be very annoying and had always wished that it would cut out. And now that it's broken and it doesn't make any sound, I'm not happy about that. But I got my wish, right? So, all right, so this is Jetfire. All right, and you can kind of tell it's going to turn into Space Shuttle. Here's a couple of minicon attachments, and they have those little red divots in there, right? Well, that's for a purpose, and I will show you that. So first I'm going to convert him into a jet, all right? So this is actually a shield and landing gear, and, well, I'm going to show you what that also becomes. See the little wheels under there? So you flip it around like that, and then it becomes landing gear, but it also has another purpose. Okay, I'm still in the middle of transforming this, but I wanted you to see this before I go further. And see, look, it has all these like planetary directions. It has a map. You know, just all kinds of like archaic or robotic looking descriptions of some planetary information in there. All right, so here's Jetfire in shuttle mode. All right, and you can open the bay doors, and there you go. You can see that writing, and if you want, you can put a minicon in there. All right, so let me show you a little special feature this has. So what you do is you take your bombs, okay, these are bombs, and then you can store them either in this non-active place, just tab in, or you can tab it in here. See the little orange pieces in there? Now you have to push this in hard, all right? And then what you do is you can attach a minicon. Let's see if this works right. Okay, so there's your little presser in there, and that's gonna go in there. Hopefully, there we go. And then as you push that down, that's going to push on the missile, and then it drops the bomb. Okay, so nice little nifty feature. These are spring-loaded, see that? And they lock in, and then you can just pull them out with your fingers and just pull that up. And then here's your rocket. You push that down, and then you have your rocket launching. All right, so now I'm going to make this into legs for Jetfire Optimus, because Optimus's problem really is he doesn't fly, usually. He has to combine with Jetfire to fly, so that's a big help. Okay, so there he is, Jetfire Optimus. You can see how these the wings are now in this position, and then you can just attach your Optimus Prime Super Mode torso to it, and that landing gear shield also snaps on to the front of Optimus. So, can you put the overload attachment for the shoulders on? You betcha. Would it be too heavy and unwieldy? Probably. No, it is. But this is actually a pretty good transformation. Stays together quite well. You can tuck that back in there. And there you go. Optimus Prime Jetfire Super Mode. And how that works, there's your tabs again. Okay, so you can see that's just part of the nose cone that folds in there, and then that tabs in there. Let's see, and then so they're basically back to the to the Jetfire mode. Pretty lickety split. I mean, you can keep it where it's in that mode, so you can play with it more quickly to transform or fold everything. Now the plastics back then, I do want to say, they're very durable, and a lot of these pieces are difficult. You really have to put some effort into moving them. They're spring loaded, and what they do is like it just moves a little bit over to kind of hold it in place, or pressure. Either they're spring loaded or pressure loaded, and then you can put it like that, and you take the gun out of his hand and stick it in there, and there you go. You have your Jetfire again, in the original form. So the plastics now are much lighter. These are really hard, shiny plastic that's very durable. And, you know, this is 22 years old or so and has been, you know, great. All right. So last thing to show you. Now, see, here's another little minicon police car, right? It looks like a barricade, right, from the new movies. Maybe it is. I didn't look it up. But look, it has 2 places to attach. All right. And here it is, the Build to Rule Optimus Prime. So it's obviously, you can tell it's big. It's a little taller than Optimus Prime in Super Mode. This is not exactly how it was made. I didn't like the way the feet were. It was less balanced. So I took the extra tires. Whoop, and see, it still falls over kind of easy. But I put them back here to balance the weight of the figure. And it doesn't have ball joints like that in the other show where I was showing you the Creo version. But you see, it has ratcheted and good articulation, and has, you see, it stops and stays. So this is also nice solution. And then these fire. And what you do, this is a unique firing, kind of unique. You turn it, and then it fires. So actually here, I'll do it from a little distance here. There. So it fires the missile. Again, how I didn't lose the missile is pretty amazing. I might have modified how this looks from when you look it up online. BTR, Build to Rule, Armada Optimus Prime, but it's essentially the same. And they don't snap quite together the same as Legos. It's a softer plastic, so it's kind of a soft push. It doesn't really have that snappiness to it. And Mega Bloks is even stronger than any of them. But, you know, it stayed together. I just put it in a glass cabinet. So, all right. Well, there you go. Armada Optimus Prime in all its splendor and complexity. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly enjoyed relearning about it and showing it to you. And I hope you all take care. And I will be getting back to you soon. Thanks for watching.